Talk. What's going on? Gabe's with me. We're back after a few weeks being off. Welcome back, Gabe. What's going on?
Yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's been too long.
It has been, man. We're going to go into match week 7. We had lots of interesting games last week. I tell you what's been really interesting for me as well is seeing the managerial kind of people getting some questions about managers as well, innit? But we'll talk about that as we get to the games. Let me run through the fixtures from last week, and then you tell me which games stood out to you. We'll cover those, yeah? All right, so last week we had Palace, Liverpool. We had Arsenal, Southampton, Brentford, Wolves, Man City, Fulham, West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester, Bournemouth, Everton, Newcastle, Villa, United, Chelsea, Forest, and Brighton, Spurs. I know you watch all the games. So which games really stood out for you over the last weekend?
Brighton, Spurs.
Yeah? We'll go to that.
It has to be that. It has to be that, man.
So I caught some of that game too. I thought at one point Spurs were 2-0 up. What happened?
We do. It was until half-time, really. 2-0, cruising, dominating, as they usually do. But in the second half, like, Spursy, really. That's in their DNA in terms of that performance in the second half. I was shocked because when I found out it was 2-0, I turned off my phone. And then once I started getting notifications and my phone started popping off, it was 3-2 Brighton. And I was like, where did that come from? And it was confusing at the time because how could you be 2-0 up at half time but still capitulate in the second half? Like, I don't know what was said in the dressing room, but it didn't go as well as it was looking for Spurs.
For the first time, you think Postecoglou's under a bit of pressure now, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say a bit of pressure because it was a bit eased off in terms of the performances, like the United one, the Brentford one, a few others.
Yeah,
but I think
terrible, though, man.
we were bad the whole game. But I'd say he's not under pressure at this moment because it's probably like the first loss since the first couple of win streaks.
They won 6 in a row, wasn't it? I think it was until that game.
Yeah, until that game, yeah.
League and cup games all together, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Andrew wouldn't be under pressure straight away, but I think he'll be fine for most parts anyway, but depending after the international break.
And what about Brighton? Because obviously Brighton are the team that won the game in the end. You end up talking about the bigger teams even when they lose, innit? But for Brighton, a great result for them coming back, a lot of grit to bring it back in. Striker, what's his name? Matek? What's his name again? The guy who scored the 2 goals.
No, it was 3 different scorers.
He scored the first goal.
Minter, that winger.
Yeah,
Minter. Yeah, that
he
winger.
Looks quality, you know.
Yeah, he looks good. Confused why Newcastle sold him, but I mean, he's must have been a good player. But Adog G was dodgy with that defending for the first goal, which I didn't know what he was doing, but something was going on there. But second goal, it was just schoolboy defending, really. I just didn't understand, like, Mitoma coming inside, putting it through to Rutan, and boom, he just slid it away. Just too easy. And the Danny Welbeck goal was absolutely... Oh, my... I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I watched that. I was like, how did Ruta get through there and none of the defenders engaged or even clock that Danny Welbeck was ahead of them and it was going to come straight to him? But it's Danny Welbeck, you know. He's been a clutch player for Brighton for many years, and throughout his career, most of the time he's been clutch. So I think it's Danny Welbeck. He's been doing it for years. So brilliant for him.
Welbeck's kind of play, you think if he'd stayed fit, he probably wouldn't be as good as he is now because he plays loads more games. But he's probably a 25-year-old in his body in terms of the amount of football he's played through injuries. But quality is there. You can see when he's at United, he got sold when Van Gaal came in.
Yeah,
I didn't want him to go then to Arsenal.
Yeah,
you've seen him go to Arsenal, do pretty well, I'd say, barring injuries. And on to Brighton, and again, he's clutch. Like you said, he's a top player, man. I rate him highly. I hate when we play against Brighton because he always comes.
Yeah, he always scores. Yeah, he always scores.
And he's a proper United boy as well. Proper United.
Yeah, proper Mank. Yeah.
All right, what else? What other games stood out for you this weekend? We had the 4-1 at West Ham. We had a big win for Brentford over Wolves.
Yeah.
Arsenal beat Southampton 3-1.
We'll get to Arsenal. Bit of a shaky start in terms of Arsenal. When like in the first half they only had 1 shot, I think, throughout that whole first half, which was a weird one. Anyway, even though Southampton was sitting back for most of the part and still attacking. But it was a shock when Southampton went 1-0 up. So I think Arsenal showed good fight and good spirit to come back into the game and get the 3 points. And Saka's just on another level right now.
Yeah, a goal a game or assist every game so far this season.
Yeah, assist every game. So it's 7 assists in 7 games in the Premier League. So yeah, he's clear in terms of the assists this season.
I think a big result. Really, City got lucky against Fulham 3-2. I'll say lucky 3-2, but Fulham looked good, innit?
Yeah, it's just like when Adama Traore is on those chances, you know what the outcome is, innit? So
yeah.
It was really not the right person for it to take, really. But I mean, yeah, it was important points for Arsenal. But onto the City game, I think it wasn't like a typical City performance, but it was just getting the job done, really. So them being clinical, them being able to get the job done and keep the points high, because the title race is going to be tight this season again. So right. I think City had to get the job done so they won't have to do any slip-ups like last week against Newcastle.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of nerves there, I think, especially when I think Fulham scored in the 88th minute. And City had just scored 82nd minute. It's like, oh, hang on, is it a 3-3 in the end or what? And they held out, obviously, but there's definitely some fragility there, I think.
Yeah, with the defence and and without Rodri, without Rodri's
all season now, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big miss.
You can't replace Rodri really with anyone. There's not a player can say, oh, there's a guy, he's in Italy, Fiorentina, I think he's that. Centre mid, and they're saying he couldn't do the job, but I'm like, there's a lot of adjustment to take place for a player coming to that, and Rodri's not even there to guide him. It's just like you're jumping in to replace him. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can talk about United if you want. I was semi-impressed because I told you on Sunday we're going to get battered, because I thought Villa just in good form, beat Bayern Munich this week.
Yeah, I did as well. Yeah, I thought.
John Duran's going to come on and score a hat-trick off the bench.
Or get a brace or something.
Everyone's going to bang from halfway line, a half volley or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Ended up, we played and defended very well. We've actually got quite a good record with clean sheets now this season as well, which is weird. Really impressed with Onana. He's doing so well this year so far. What's your take on the starting lineup when we saw that Evans and Maguire was like, oh, crikey, what are we going to do? What's your take on the team selection?
Yeah, I thought we were finished. I thought we were going to get absolutely smoked when I found out Maguire and Evans were in the team, and when I found out Watkins, Rodgers, Philogene and Bailey was playing. I just thought it could be like 3-4 goals there. But unfortunately, in my opinion, I think the game was boring. Like nothing really happened. Nothing really happened. Like there weren't that many shots in the game. There weren't really much entertainment end to end or anything like that. I just felt most teams was just compact and just being boring with the football, just like defending for their lives. Like nothing. Like it's like we were just playing for a point. Really, it just weren't really nothing going on in the game. Like it just weren't enough.
But I think at this stage of the season, and given our form recently, you'd said to us at the beginning of the game, you walk away from Villa Park with a point and a clean sheet, you'd be semi-happy with that. When I was a kid, we beat Villa every game. It was never a thing. But in this last few years of obviously us being down and then being up, taking a point from that isn't a bad thing. And I can also say the pressure must be on the home side to win the game. When you're at Old Trafford, we've got to be the winners. We've got to go out there and try to win. We're going away to Villa Park. They were bouncing as well at Villa Park after the Wednesday night game against Bayern.
Yeah.
You look at the stats. We had 10 shots.
Like they were tired, because like they were tired for most of the game, because if they didn't have that game, then it would be a different conversation. Like they'll be up for it. Like they would have been.
That's what comes with being in top European competition. The top clubs who do it every week do it and do well in both league and cup, because they've been doing it for years. And that's why you see teams like Villa now who are going to struggle to match the intensity week after week when they're playing high pressure games against Bayern Munich and then playing Man United and then they're playing. You know what I mean? It's going to be difficult for them. Whereas we, as much as we haven't won it for a while, we've had that weak football every week, pretty much. Even Arsenal, although they never win anything for Arsenal, they're playing Champions League football or European, you know what I mean? Europa League.
Yeah, European stage, They're
used to it. I mean, in the game, we had 4 shots on target. They had 1. They had 54% possession. You definitely look at the passes and they have a bit more possession, but not really that much more. And there's not much to say from the game that made it look like Villa were better. And given we've won 1 in 5 in the league this so far in the last 5 games, the last 7 games, the last 5 games we've won 1, plus the Southampton and Fulham games, which we did all right with them ones. We're 14th in the league.
Yeah.
Going to Villa, taking a point. And we could have won it as well. Bruno hit the bar.
Yeah, I think that was probably much the only chance that that happened in the whole game, if I'm being honest. Like,
that's a 1-0, and if it's Man City or Arsenal, it's like that's a champions win, taking it from the jaws of defeat. They just pushed on. I'm talking is, the narrative around football when it's United is always negative, but when other teams do the same thing, it's like, they pushed through and they were gritty and that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
What do you think? Any other game you want to look at?
We got to Brentford. I think
Brentford Wolves.
Yeah, I think Brentford started off really well in the last few weeks that we missed anyway, but they keep scoring in a few minutes early. Unfortunately, for the last few weeks, they scored early and lost. But unfortunately for them, they scored early and they won this time last weekend. So I think it was a good, important points for them to keep up with the momentum with where they're performing, the way they're playing. I think they're doing really well in terms of the attack, even though they're missing Wissa, even with Tony. But I think Wissa's keeping hold of that team really well. So I think they're really trying to stay in this Premier League.
Sounds good. I mean, I think Brentford, the manager Thomas Frank is one of those guys who I think he can manage any team.
Yeah.
He's the kind of manager you look at him and think, if you give him a good squad, he'll make the team play his way. And they think they've put his name up for United a few times. I'm not really sure about the pressure around the job is good for him, but he's a good coach. We were talking earlier about if United were to get rid of Ten Hag, which could happen over the international window, who knows?
Yeah.
You don't need a manager so much now than rather a coach, Eddie Howe, that kind of person, to just get them to play good football. Thomas Frank would be up there, I think. What do you think?
Yeah. I think he'll be one of the names in the hat in terms of contenders. If Ten Hag does get sacked in the current position that we're in right now in 14th, where, in my opinion, I don't think the owners would accept that being 14th in the international break, where the momentum is literally getting lower and lower, and we need Champions League football to get where the owners' aspirations are to get Champions League, and we're nowhere near that because we're close to the relegation zone. So I think whether the owners will make a decision quickly, whether to sack him right now and do an interim with Ruud or get a Tuchel, they desperately need Champions League football. So I think Frank should be one of the contenders in the summer if that does happen.
I agree. I definitely look forward to seeing what they do. I'm a United fan through and through. Whoever the manager is, I will be there supporting the team. So I don't... And the point we're at now, we can't justify being 14th. I love Ten Hag though. Yeah. But if you went and they brought in a coach, I'd be excited to see what our team can do. With the squad we've got now, we can do better than we're doing now, innit? We know that.
Yeah, 100%.
Guys, we'll be back. We'll be back for GMB Footy Talk on Friday with a preview, we've got something coming for you on Friday. Gabe's going to be doing some more content for you. Make sure you follow on Instagram. We've got Instagram now for GMB Footy Talk. Instagram. Yeah, go check it out. Gabe's going to be posting regularly on there. You may see some stuff from me on there too, but definitely Gabe is going to be sharing with you on there. So make sure you lock into that. Follow, like, and subscribe to the channel as well. More content coming soon. Definitely going to have more content for you on the channel as well about the things around the teams, or not just the games, but other stuff around Gabe's thoughts on other matches, other teams, players in particular, things that are going on in the world of football as well. So during the international break, look out for something different on GMB Footy Talk. Until next time, we're gone.
See ya. Peace.